So I seem to have stirred up a bit of a hornet's nest with this carburettor video, the Chinese copy. It seems you can't please all of the people all of the time. There's some lovers and some haters. So I will get to the bottom of this carburettor issue, whether it's using the original carb or parts off it, or we'll get the Chinese carb sorted. One way or the other, it will be sorted, and I'll bring you along on the journey. So the first thing to do is take it apart again. Getting a bit fed up with taking it apart. So I've got the two carburettors apart. That's the original and the Chinese one. Now it's quite difficult to see, but the original parts, the jets are really corroded. It was much worse than that. It got drowned in water, and it's all got furred up inside. Yeah, it's not good, the original one. So I've got the jets out. So I've checked the sizes. The pilot jet is a 38 on the original and only a 32 on the Chinese copy, but the bottom end jetting was really good on that carburettor. But I know my original pilot jet has been butchered because it was actually blocked solid, and I put a tiny little drill down the end to get a hole in it at all, because it was completely blocked. So I know that is now too big, and it was causing it to be rich at the bottom end. So what I'm going to do is leave the original pilot jet in the Chinese carb, because that was running well. We don't need to worry about that. Mixture screw settings are pretty academic. It was running well at the bottom end, and that's where the mixture screw works. It doesn't have any effect at the top end at all. Now the main jet, the original main jet, I actually put a bigger one in. That's not standard. Again, that's a bit corroded and not very nice, but the hole is clear. And the original emulsion tube is quite good, really. It looks manky, but I think it will do the job. Now the Chinese emulsion tube, the drillings down the side are minute. You almost can't see them. And the copy main jet is a 78, and I know I put a bigger one in here anyway. This is an 82. I believe it was a 78 originally. So the jetting for the copy carb is correct for a C90, really, but it doesn't seem to suit my C90. I'm a bit concerned about the size of the holes in the emulsion tube, so I'm going to swap that out for the original C90 carb and my original main jet. So we're going to put those in the Chinese carb. Just tighten those up. That's it. We'll get this buttoned up and try it again. I'm just going to make sure it starts. Be surprised if it doesn't. Yeah, how quiet the starter motor is. Lovely. So I'm not complaining about the Chinese starter. I'll give that a minute to warm up and take it for a quick road test. So that's been sitting there idling for a few minutes. Nice and warm. I've adjusted the tick over, sounds really sweet. Ticks over much nicer than the original carburettor. Seems strange riding it without leg shields. Now straight away I can feel it's a lot better. It takes full throttle now, no problem. It's chilly on the old legs without the leg shield. Yeah, it all seems smooth, lovely. The bottom end is crisp. Yeah, ticks over nicely when you come to a stop. Doesn't want to stall like it did before. Throttle response is good. This is where it struggled last time. So we're right into the teeth of a headwind here. It feels like it's holding back a little bit, but I don't know if that's just the headwind. Doesn't want to go any faster than about 36 miles an hour. It is a lot better than it was. I'll turn around and go back with the tailwind. Yeah, the bottom end jetting is spot on. Just the top end isn't. I can give it full throttle no problem now. So with the wind behind us, it's a bit more lively. Yeah, it's much better. Oh, we had a bit of a backfire out of the exhaust then. Wonder why that was. Oh, more roadworks. And when you're on the cup, you can go round them, can't you? So we're back. What's the conclusion? Tick over's lovely, bottom end jetting fine. It does still hold back slightly at the top end. So we're back from the test ride. Carburettor's off again and in pieces. As you can see, it's not the first time I've been down this road. By the amount of jets I've got, I'm no stranger to this. So, main jet. I would like a bigger main jet, and even though I've got loads here, I've only got a couple that will fit this. One is way too small. I've got some tiny little drill bits that, because I've got no way of measuring these holes, only just looking at it. But if I put these tiny little drill bits in, I can feel the slop. It gives me a rough idea. See, that little drill bit fits that jet quite nicely. It's a good fit. So that's my original 91, which is a lot bigger. Yeah, it's quite a lot bigger. Not as big as that one though. That almost fits that one. The only other one I've got is this one here. Yeah, so the one I've tried is the biggest jet I've got. What I might do is order up a few different sizes and go from there. But I'm going to end this series of videos on this carburettor. I'm not going to flog it to death because I'm worried it might get boring, and it's clearly upsetting a few people, and it'll upset me as well. So in the absence of big jets, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the original carburettor back on, and I'm going to use the pilot jet out of the Chinese carburettor. So there's my original combo, which I know worked well on the top end because I was doing the top speed runs with it. And as we know, 50 plus mile an hour on a C90 is pretty good, so there's nothing wrong with the top end jetting. So I'll put that back in the original carb. And this pilot jet out of the Chinese carb, which worked really well. Yeah, we'll get this original carburettor back on and give it a quick road test. But I will order up some more jets, and I'll let you know in the future what the crack is with that, and I'll revisit the, well, I won't video it, I'll just tell you on another video if I've put the Chinese carb back on. Just taking it on and off and messing about like this is quite tiresome. It really is. I'll leave that for a minute. Let's get this back on. Put a tiny bit of grease on that O-ring. Just helps it to seal. So this is road test number 3. Back on the original carburettor with the Chinese copy pilot jet. All seems to be okay at the moment. Lovely day today. Yeah, seems to run sweetly. Let's see what it's like on the straight bit. Hopefully this bloke will speed up a little bit. It's definitely a bit perkier. A bit more top end. I mean, windy. But I'll turn around here and head back with a tailwind. This is Barton's Point. Quite a nice little place. Nice place to sit just there with a bench. So we've got a following wind now. Yeah, it's definitely better at the top half of the rev range. But not a lot different, really. Oh, hear that? Scrape the brake pedal. Oh, I thought that was the engine rattling and it's a helicopter going overhead. I thought, ah, shit, the bottom end's gone. So that's the road tests done. I'm going to draw a line under this carburettor series because it's clearly upset a few people. Not quite sure why. It's only a carburettor after all. You definitely can't please all the people all the time. Bound to upset a few. Some people seem to love these bloody things. But in conclusion, it's actually not a bad carburettor. Not bad at all. For the money, you can't knock it. Not at all. Straight out of the box, that doesn't suit the C90, but it will with a bit of tuning. Bottom end jetting, fine. Anything over half throttle, no, it didn't want to know. It just clogged, and that was purely down to the design of the emulsion tube and the too small a main jet. Combination of the two. So I've gone back to the original carburettor for now, but it's still not right. And it never has been. So I will be refitting this at some point. I'll order up some more jets and I'll come back to it and have another go, because yeah, it's a good little carburettor. It would certainly suit a C50 out of the box. It would probably work well, but the 90, no, not without a bit of fettling. Before anyone puts in the comments, you should have done this, you should have done that, messing about with the needle position isn't going to make any difference. That's just for fine tuning. You've got to get the fundamental settings right first with the jets, then mess about with the needle position. The air mixture screw, which conveniently on the Chinese carb is right next to the throttle stop. On the Honda 90, the original C90 carb, the mixture screw is tucked underneath somewhere and you can't get to it. If it's even got a mixture screw, I'm not sure it has. Anyway, the mixture screw is purely for your tick over, really, just to fine tune the tick over. That won't make any difference any more than an 1/8 throttle. Yeah, so we're going to conclude the carburettor series and go on to something else. Now the next video will be the auxiliary tank that I'm going to fit to Pete's bike. I've got his bike here, I've got all the bits, so that video will be coming up in the next couple of days. Yep, so I'm going to end the video there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now. I'll lob this in the bin now.